And New Democrats came to Ottawa to earn the trust that Canadians placed in us, and we've been working hard to make difficult times a little bit easier. Nous avons obligé le gouvernement à réagir.
We forced the government to react to the economic crisis, and we are holding the government accountable for the way it is spending taxpayers' money.
$1 billion of commitment to help tens of thousands of unemployed workers with employment insurance improvements. And we pushed the government to begin extending public benefits to self-employed workers as well. We passed a motion calling on the government to protect consumers from abusive credit card fees and penalties, and secured passage of right-to-repair legislation. We successfully lobbied the government to ban candy tobacco and won a public inquiry into the collapse of the sockeye salmon stocks in British Columbia. We successfully prevented the Conservatives and Liberals from concluding the free trade treaty with Colombia. And we were pressing and continue to press the government to back off its plan to privatize airline security. Nous avons pris l'initiative de mettre des problèmes.
We took the initiative to put the most pressing problems, the protection of people's pensions, at the top of Ottawa's priority list.
We presented a motion last spring, adopted unanimously by the House, that action had to be taken on retirement security. But the Conservatives are only tinkering with pension reform, while the Liberals, after saying and doing really nothing for months on this, apparently decided to slap their logo on our plan, which was flattering, but not exactly leadership. L'NPD a proposé des mesures pour améliorer le régime de
proposed measures to improve our public pension plan in order to end the poverty among seniors and to create a pan-Canadian insurance pension plan,
which gives underfunded pension plans the same preferred creditor status that bondholders have when a company goes bankrupt. And we've tabled legislation that protects long-term disability pensions for workers as well. In the run-up to the meeting of finance ministers on pensions in Whitehorse, I'm sending our proposals to all premiers of our provinces and territories, and I'll be in touch with them to discuss our plans prior to those meetings. But beyond helping Canadians in tough times, we've worked on issues vital to Canada's place in the world as well.
Over the last 4 years, we did not let up pressure on the government with regard to the detainee file in Afghanistan. After the testimony of Richard Colvin, who revealed a vast operation to hide the torture of detainees transferred by Canadian soldiers, we asked for a public inquiry. The revelations made by the National Defense Chief of Staff yesterday prove yet again and more than ever that it is necessary to have a complete public inquiry into the transfer and the control of Afghan detainees.
To bring the truth to light is unquestionable. When we send our sons and daughters into combat, we must be absolutely certain that the orders they are given are beyond reproach. Our troops deserve nothing less than that. And future generations of Canadians deserve nothing less than a real commitment to fight climate change. After delays and obstruction, the Liberals, as much as the Conservatives, our Bill C-311, the Climate Change Accountability Act, with deep reduction targets as called for by global science and the United Nations and many others, will reach the floor of the House today and will be voted on at third reading in the new year. La Chambre des Communes.
The House of Commons has before it an excellent opportunity to show international leadership at a time when the entire world is fixated on Canada and is asking it to act responsibly. Canada can choose to stop receiving brickbats in the area of climate change, and we can be world leaders in that area. We can be models for the Europeans and others by imposing strict limits to contain our greenhouse gas emissions.
House rises, along with our environment critic Linda Duncan, to monitor negotiations, to make sure that people know that a majority of Canadians want to see much stronger action by the Canadian government than Mr. Harper proposes, and to meet with representatives from around the world. And I want to discuss with them how to face the challenges that came after setting emission targets and some of the opportunities that they are pursuing that so far Canada is not, to transform their economies into a greener, more efficient, and more sustainable economic system. We can cut our carbon output and build the new energy economy, and there will be examples on display from all around the world at this conference. Today is the International Human Rights Day, and we reiterate our call for the government to sign the UN Treaty on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, incluant le Québec. As we head into the holiday season, our support is surging across the country, incluant le Québec, où nous avons prouvé à nos détracteurs,
including in Quebec, where we have shown our detractors that we can win and that we can grow, because we share the same values as many Quebecers. In fact, we received the support from 500,000 Quebecers, and this shows.
We had strong results, a record victory in British Columbia, strong second-place finishes in Montreal and Nova Scotia as well. Of course, Premier Dexter's victory there has really given us some new energy, wind in the sails, and you could feel it at our convention in Halifax in August. In British Columbia and Ontario, we're working side by side with NDP leaders Carol James and Andrea Horwath in our fight against the HST, and that is rallying new supporters to our side. And that's because it's the wrong tax at the wrong time on the wrong people, and it's shifting. It's a massive shift of the taxation burden from corporate Canada to average, everyday Canadians. And this fight is not over. And this is exactly happening at a time when bank managers and executives are giving themselves an $8.3 billion package of bonuses at the same time as they're gouging people at the automatic teller machines and every time they get their credit card statements. It's absolutely outrageous, an 18% increase in bonuses to bank executives at a time when the average Canadian is struggling just to make ends meet every month. This has to be stopped. Our movement has momentum across the country because we've been standing up for people on the issues that matter to them. C'est avec la fierté du devoir accompli que nous quitterons le Parlement pour les temps des fêtes.
So it is with the pride of a job well done that we are leaving for the Christmas holidays, but we know that everywhere in Canada, people will still need our help as soon as we come back.
Ambassador Gary Doer likes to say, much accomplished, more to do. Je tiens à souhaiter à tous et à toutes
I wish all of you a wonderful holiday period and a very Merry Christmas. Thank you.
We first have Richard Brennan from the Toronto Star.
Jack, to get to the detainee issue, what is it the opposition can do to force the government to call a public inquiry? I know the motion's there, but they're ignoring that. What can be done so they have no alternative but to call one?
Well, I believe that continued questioning of the ministers, continuing research to find as much of the truth as we can find, the work of journalists, the work of brave individuals within our public service who have come forward, people like Mr. Colvin. All of this is perhaps, it's like peeling the skin of an onion. It's going to take a little bit of time because this is a government that that clearly doesn't want the light of day shed on what has taken place. But it's very important that we take control of this here in Canada, because if we do not, then we're going to find that international bodies are going to start asking questions and conducting their own investigations if we don't take hold of that responsibility here.